Recording an album about social isolation is easy when you actually hate everyone in the room. In 1978, Pink Floyd began building a psychological bunker that would eventually top the charts for 15 weeks. The conceptual seed was planted in 1977 during the In the Flesh tour, where Waters began to feel an intolerable distance from his own fans. Enter co-producer Bob Ezrin. Ezrin wasn't just a producer, he was a human buffer zone. He refined the concept while bridging the violent tensions between members who could barely stand to be in the same zip code. But here is where The Wall starts listening back across time. Fast forward to the January 2017 Adhesive report and the Mueller Report. Putin reportedly favored a specific outcome, personally ordering a campaign to harm a rival's chances while undermining public faith. Back in 1979, the public wasn't thinking about influence campaigns. They were just lonely. The themes of social isolation resonated so deeply that the album became a massive commercial success. Human Anchor. Imagine being a fan in 1979, buying the record while your own local economy was cratering, unaware the band was essentially a salaried sideman and a few vipers. Wright's situation was the peak of corporate brutality. After being fired by Waters during production, he stayed on as a salaried musician for the tour. But Wright, he just collected his check. He was the only one who actually profited from Pink Floyd's most visually striking aspect. Waters didn't stop at the record. In 1982, he wrote the screenplay for a feature film adaptation. But the establishment couldn't ignore it forever. Decades later, the project was included in Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums. The Wall was so bloated it couldn't even contain itself. By 1983, outtakes were being salvaged for the next album, The Final Cut. This is the forensic twist. The outtakes predicted a geopolitical final cut that wouldn't arrive until the cyber attacks of 2016. The internal warfare of a rock band in 1978 was the precursor to the global influence campaign of the 21st century. U.S. intelligence alleges that Putin sought to cultivate people in a specific candidate's orbit. We used to build walls to hide our secrets. Now we use the internet to find everyone else's. Let's circle back to the tour. Notes the construction of a massive wall on stage. While Waters was having a breakdown in front of the audience, Wright was probably at the hotel bar, laughing with his guaranteed paycheck. The irony is savage. The man who was fired for being uncooperative was the only one who didn't lose his shirt when the theatrical effects became too expensive. Salaried sideman supremacy is a real thing. It proves that sometimes the best way to win a fight is to get kicked out of the room before the bill arrives. Putin's influence campaign wasn't just about harm. It was about undermining public faith in the U.S. democratic process. We are living in the final outtakes of a project that started in a London recording studio in 1978. In the year 2000, the album was voted number 30 in Colin Larkin's all-time top 1,000. Whether it is an influence campaign cultivated in Trump's orbit or a salaried musician on a sinking ship, the message is clear. Waters conceived the project while feeling a distance from his fans. But the barrier became a global industry. The Mueller Report publicly corroborated that the Russian government worked to intervene in a way that Waters could have only imagined in 1977. In the end, The Wall always comes down, but the listeners stay. The 11th studio album topped the charts for 15 weeks, proving that Paranoia sells. The Wall is watching, and it's not just a record anymore. It's a professional eavesdropping device for a world that is too paranoid to stop listening. Stay vigilant. Visual prompts S01. Roger Waters shouting at a 1970s audience. Low-angle shot. Harsh white spotlights. High-contrast black and white film stock. 16. 9s02. Pink Floyd band members sitting in separate corners of a sterile studio, wide shot. Cold fluorescent lighting, desaturated, 16. 9s03. Bob Ezrin gesturing wildly at a mixing console, medium shot, warm studio glow with hazy cigarette smoke, vintage warm tones, 16. 9s04. Robert Mueller holding a heavy paper report, medium close-up. Sterile office lighting, digital sharp resolution, 16. 9s05. Vladimir Putin sitting at a long desk in the Kremlin, symmetrical wide shot, cold intimidating atmosphere, high detail. 16. 9s06. 1979 teenage bedroom with a fan lying on a bed with headphones, sunset through blinds, cinematic warmth, 16. 9s07. Richard Wright sitting at a hotel piano, looking weary, dim blue light, 1980s film grain, 16. 9s08. Roger Waters writing a screenplay by lamplight, medium shot, gritty 80s aesthetic, 16. 9s09. Extreme close-up of labeled Pink Floyd outtake tapes in a dusty storage room, cinematic macro, 16. 9s10. Digital visualization of a cyber attack hitting a target map, bird's eye view, neon digital style, 16. 9s11. Rock star on stage spitting at a fan, extreme close-up on face, blinding distorted lights, gritty, 16. 9s12. Modern hacker in a dark hoodie typing in front of multiple screens, low-angle medium shot, 16. 9s13. Close-up of all-time top 1,000 albums books open to page 30, warm scholarly lighting, 16. 9s14. Roger Waters sitting alone in a large theater from behind, single spotlight, high contrast, 16. 9s15. Massive stone wall crumbling and falling toward the camera, dynamic wide angle, cinematic VFX, 16. 9.